Hello, how's it going? I am streaming, right? Yeah. Because my bandwidth. Gosh, it is already the 25th. Oh wait, I needed to connect to the actual IRC port where my Twitch chat was going. Hello everybody. If you said something before I joined the channel, my IRC client, then I didn't see it, but hello and welcome. It's WAD Wednesday. And we're going to play a random Doom level. Hello. Alright, welcome everybody. I hope, okay, yeah, I missed some of y'all saying hi. Hello. Alright, here's our plushy paint elemental. Now selectable as a player head in No Man's Sky, probably, maybe, in an ideal universe. Anyway, we're going to rub its head for good luck. I feel like we had pretty good luck last time. That was a good batch of things. As somebody in the Discord pointed out, I think his name was Jonathan Wright. Went on to get hired on after making one of the levels that we played last week. Went on to get hired. He was one of the people that Ionstorm Dallas hired out of the community to work on Daikatana, and then from there he just has had a full AAA kind of career. But yeah, got to start doing Doom levels. Imagine that. All right, cool. Well, yeah, let's see what kind of weird, old, dusty, forgotten Doom history we can find today. Let's begin. Oh, hey, yeah. What is this? Oh, gosh, okay, we've landed in the X-rated folder here, so this is kind of a judgment call on my part, I guess. I'll read over this thing, and we will see if this is at all appropriate. Also, I don't know which Twitch's guidelines are, so even if we did want to play it, I don't know. Anyway, this is, what is it? Ratzepimmel's World, Jan Ratzepimmel Meller, Nick on IRC. That's 2 weeks in a row where we've had somebody's WAD author name also sort of parenthetically add their IRC handle. Like, you know, this is my full legal name, which, you know, nobody in this community uses, but then on IRC I am known as this. Anyway, that's a thing that people do. So yeah, this is in the X-rated folder. If, in case you didn't know, people made mature content, let's say, for Doom back in the day. So that's certainly a thing. A lot of times it just came down to like scans of like porno mags and stuff, like on the wall textures, just with normal Doom monsters and stuff. It's weird. Even back in the day as a teen, I didn't get it. It's like, what is, you know, I mean, I guess in a certain way, like, WADs were a way that you could distribute, you know, lewd images, and that had value to some people. I don't get it. But yeah, and so this is from December of 1996. That's also a little surprising because, like, I feel like people kind of got that out of their system in like the first couple of years of Doom's existence. So yeah, I don't know, maybe there's still a thriving porn WAD, you know, thing going on, but yeah, there's also, like, I don't know, there's like a hentai Doom mod that, I don't know, yeah, it's not my thing. Anyway, so yeah, this is map 1, single player, yes, but there's no exit. New sound, new graphics. Okay, so this is probably, you know, I'm not going to play this, like, in the future, if we draw another X-rated WAD, and it sounds like it's just strange, like does something weird with monsters, you know, isn't in, like, super poor taste or anything, you know, like, isn't, like, like, harmful and gross or mean or anything, that's the kind of thing that we could play, like, I'm not against that. But in this case, I'm kind of guessing that it's just a bunch of, like, scans of, like, Playboy or Penthouse or something, like, turned into wall textures, so I'm not really going to bother with it. Anyway, that's my whole... What are these extra little... Yeah, and I guess this comes with, like, different... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is replacing monsters, so I don't know. But I'm just not that interested. You haven't caught me on a day when... Yeah, they sure did include, like, all of their little development stuff here. Porn Lev and Porn Sprite. Anyway, onward to the next thing. Okay, Toke's co-op build. Cooperative WAD for Doom 2. By Toke, parentheses Dylan McIntosh. But it sounds like this is co-op, which is unfortunate. Yeah, single player, player starts only, cooperative 2 to 4 player. I'm guessing that this wouldn't actually... I don't know. Should we try to play this? Also, this is 26 levels, so that's a heck of a lot of levels. But I'm going to take the author's word seriously. Oh, wait. So, yeah, okay, no. I remember this person's name. Yeah, like, Toke was a 23-year-old Doomer that died in a car crash. I remember reading about this on Doom World way back in the day. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, rest in peace, Toke. Yeah, co-op stuff. And I guess maybe this was the community. It was uploaded by D-Force, so I guess they were releasing it after it's a posthumous release, probably. So that's actually sad. I don't know. Like, I don't know what... you know, just because I'm curious, let's boot it up and just see what we get here. If it ends up being, like, seeming like co-op is the only reasonable way to play it, then we can, you know... Whoa! Okay, so we've got 2 Marines here. And yeah, these are just normal Marines. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. And yeah, there's like just a whole bunch of, hold on, I think I've got to turn on my sound a little bit here. Wow, wild. Okay, so there's like... We have like an assault rifle-y type thing here, and then we've just got like a ton of Marines. Yeah, I was hoping that they would be buddies as well, because... But no, it seems like it's just a bunch of, like, hostile Marine enemies, and there's, like, kind of a ridiculous number of them, and I don't really know what to do about that. We can go in these little prison cells, these little jail cells here, and yeah, those plasma gun guys are just going to kill us, so, I don't know, this might... I'm also kind of wondering if, like, geez, yeah, this level really is just nothing but them. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to take that as evidence that we probably shouldn't, that this isn't worth playing in single player. But yeah, that was Toke's co-op build for Doom 2. And yeah, rest in peace, Toke. Definitely got like an in memoriam type thing on Doom World when he passed away. Okay, so... Yeah, let's hit random again. Escape by David Silver from September of 1994. This WAD file was created with DEU 5.21, E1M4. No fancy story to go with this WAD. This goal is just like that of every other Doom WAD. Find the exit. Of course, there is a lot of killing along the way. Here is some of what the WAD offers, or does not. Only a one-player level. Supports several difficulty. The thought that went into this WAD was to just make something that is not too hard to solve, but has some great kick-butt fun involved. Well, that sounds very pure and fine. So yeah, let's play Escape by David Silver from September of 1994. Yes, I did manage to track down what was wrong with Windows. The most recent Windows update changed the way that microphone permissions work for apps. And what I did not know was that everything is considered an app in a certain sense by that audio security mechanism. So I needed to go in and say, yes, apps can access it, but also turn off, like, Cortana and a bunch of other Windows garbage that I didn't want just listening on my microphone for no reason, because I never use it. Anyway, that's a gotcha, and apparently a bunch of Windows 10 users were affected by it. So yeah. But yeah, I was able to successfully stream No Man's Sky a little bit before, that was last week before the update came out. And now there's a whole big update that some of y'all might be playing. And yeah, I might stream that at some point. There's still a few bugs in that in the next update that are keeping me from really enjoying it fully, but I imagine they'll have those fixed soon. So anyway, yeah, here we are in E1M4 Escape. And yeah, we've got the original E1M4 music and something that looks pretty... definitely, it's definitely like pushing some non-episode 1 type textures and stuff, and monsters it looks like. But that's fine and good. That's what people were... I think there was a certain amount of once level editors started coming around, people really people didn't want to at first, I think, restrict themselves to making levels that were just replacements for episode 1 stuff, and hold themselves to those restrictions. I think that was something that only really came in later, as people kind of realized that episode 1 had its own little kind of subgenre of Doom level design. Okay, so yeah, there's like some green marble. There's some base stuff, but also some green marble stuff. Hello, cheese. Alright, there's a little yellow key just tucked away in this little closet here. Closet with a burning torch. Alright. I forget if we've seen a yellow key door yet, but... something coming down here. Oh, it's a chain gun. And then... switch that does something else. Just lots of little bundles of barrels here. And then the yellow key door. There certainly are lots and lots of barrels. Like this is sort of an unusual density and crowding of barrels here. Yeah. I like how this is just a normal gray stone brick texture, and then this is that same kind of texture, but it's sort of got like this slime algae, like it's in a damp environment kind of thing. I always appreciated that, and they work relatively well together. You can do like a little section of one alternating with the other. I'm actually way less of a fan of this texture, but also because it's the default wall texture in Slade. But yeah, slime brick. Alright, we've got a red skull. We've got a yellow card and a red skull. It's that kind of map. I don't know what kind of map that especially makes it, but... mixing cards and skull keys. That's the... Alright, so gameplay, like, just combat-wise, this level's pretty easy, It's giving us very small engagements, Pretty easy to follow, nothing too big of a gotcha. I guess this is just, like, a thing that this author likes doing, just, like, having a whole lot of barrels just stacked up around something. Okay, this is not a lift we can trigger. Yeah, alright, so I don't want to grab that suit yet, because... Oh, what did that do? Oh, interesting. Okay, so that brought that down. Where is this going? Okay. Blue key card. I can't remember if the Doom Episode 2 maps specifically mix skull cards and key cards. Skull keys and key cards. Because, you know, that would sort of make sense to do in that episode because it's like a mix of Hell and, you know, Starbase. But I don't know. This is weird. I guess it's just a teleporter that lets its texture loop a bit much. Oh yeah, that's right, we got a plasma gun here. Yeah, there's definitely some 1994-esque, like, this is just a weird, you know, letting this texture repeat here. Doesn't look terrible or anything, but yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, and we're seeing into this spot that we were seeing before. Okay, so at this point, yeah, and let's look at the layout here. This is definitely like a, yeah, this is a 1994 map layout from the top. You know, it's got like it's sort of room, hallway, room. Some rooms starting to join up into like areas, but you know, and it's not totally rectilinear, but it's got like relatively simple kind of diagonal shapes. Yeah. All right, so where can we take this blue key here? Can we go here? Oh no, that was a window. That's right. I forget. Is E1M4's track on the soundtrack called Kitchen Ace and Taken Names, or is that a different track? If so, it's a nice Bobby Prince G-rated kind of. Oh, okay, that was the end. Was that all of the monsters? Yeah, I think we just about saw everything there was in this map. So yeah, they really like, you know, you encounter this Baron early, and they don't really give you enough to deal with it at the time, but then you come back later, and you've got, you know, you've got a lot more firepower. Let's go back up here, just because I feel like we missed the whole... At the beginning of the map, you can either go left or right, and I went right, but... Kind of feels like there's a whole other wing of the map over here. Maybe not. This is kind of a cool shape. I think, you know, when you were working in a 1994 style level editor, this is exactly the kind of feature that you would make, because you're like, I want to make something that like has some diagonals in it, because that makes it a more organic, possibly like interesting shape. You know, and then like you change up the ceiling heights and just make something kind of funky, and you use like, you know, a liquid or just one of these little animated textures or something. Okay, that's cool. So that brings that down. I don't know what that did, but... Okay, so that just kind of joins up these disparate wings of the map. Okay, and is this actually a door? Does this open? No, it does not. Cool. Alright, so that might actually be... Let's see. Okay, there's 7 monsters left in here. I don't necessarily feel the need to hunt down every last one, but... Alright, and there's a slime area. Fairly generous with the rad suits. Ooh, a secret area. I don't know why this is considered a secret area. I mean, it's a little off the beaten path, but... Okay, and so then there's a switch in this secret area. What did that do? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, okay, and now we're back here. So yeah, it kind of seems like we've done a full circuit here. I'm definitely good to leave this map at this point, but... Does this open up anything? No. Okay, no, I've already been here. Alright, no, I think we're done. I think we're done here. So yeah, this was cool. I mean, I think this is, you know, this avoids a lot of amateur map, you know, like amateurish 1994 map pitfalls. It's got some idiosyncrasies, like just right on down to this exit door here. Like, I guess there's just red skulls and stuff. I mean, this looks kind of cool. You know, this is a relatively creative and cool use of those textures. So yeah, I can't really fault this map for much. yeah, it's cool, you know, like, yeah, this feels like it could have, you know, been the sort of thing that, you know, the mapper went on to bigger and better things, or maybe this was their only, you know, maybe they passed on once the Doom craze was over. But oh yeah, there was a gun outside, yeah. Cool, okay, so that was escape.wad by David Silver. That was cool. Alright, on to the next one. Shiprock Deathmatch version by Myles Williams. This is a replica of the Rose Pawson residence, parentheses Shiprock, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. Both floors are accessible, connected by a transport mechanism. I'm still looking for a way to turn off the sound, but for now consider it a feature, not a bug. That's interesting. This new version does allow deathmatch play. There's no monsters. I kind of want to check this thing out, just because it's based on a famous... Yeah, based on a famous, like, real-life structure. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, so we'll just run around it and just kind of check it out. I don't... I'm not so familiar with Frank Lloyd Wright's work that I can, like, immediately remember what Shiprock is, but I'll bet it's recognizable as such. Yeah, alright, so yeah, let's check out Shiprock by Myles Williams. There won't be any monsters, but let's check it out, you know, and just see what we can see here. Read me first. Shiprock DEH. Oh, this is a binary format DEH mod. I don't know what... Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that this doesn't... the dehacked patch lowers the player width. It may be possible for player's graphic to be seen on the other side of a wall. Alright, well, cool. Let's give it a shot. And this is E1M1. Yeah, Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright. Okay, and that's the exit switch. So yeah, this really is just made for... Okay, interesting. Yeah, I definitely wish that I had some familiarity with the real-life structure. Okay, so they've created a blocking line segment here. That's cool, just to sort of make it clearer where the player is meant to go and not. Interesting. Alright, so if I go in here, does something... Oh, I see. Oh, geez, okay, so this must be, like, really based off of... Yeah, this does actually look like it's based... So, yeah, that's why... I'm guessing that the dehacked patch not only decreases the player's height, but also their width, their diameter. Because, yeah, this is, you know, often what real-world architecture in... real-world scale architecture feels like in a video game setting. You know, where you've got, like, these very cramped spaces. You know, and I mean, Doom guy runs at, like, a scale, 50 miles per hour or something. So, of course, you know, so yeah. But yeah, you can kind of get a sense for, like, what, yeah, and I'm guessing that this is, like, an organic rock kind of thing. I remember, like, the famous Falling Water house does have, like, natural rock features just kind of, like, built into it, along with water and stuff. Frank Lloyd Wright is the architect, Andrew Lloyd Webber, right? Is the Phantom of the Opera composer and stuff. I think I know. I'm a little more plugged into the architecture world, architecture history than the musical theater, but I'm pretty sure it's Andrew Lloyd Webber. But they do both have the Lloyd middle name, so yeah. Okay, yeah, and there's a teleporter up to a higher story here. These very narrow hallways, but you know. Oh, cool, yeah, and now we can look into, and have we just teleported to another, yeah, okay. So this author did the very classic hack of just copy-pasting the essential level plan over one, and then teleporting between the two for different stories, which can be sort of difficult to build, like, you know, I mean, it takes some work to keep both of those in sync and stuff, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, very human scale rooms. Like, you can kind of tell that this is a bedroom with a little balcony and, like, screen, you know, like, sliding glass door or something. Everything that Frank Lloyd Wright made was, you know, everything was very bespoke. Like, he would design all of the fixtures and determine all the materials and stuff. He's just a classic modernist architect guy. Big into boxes, you know, like everything very rectilinear, but built up into kind of a pretty geometric sort of sense. It definitely wasn't brutalist. Yeah, this is like a little room with a fireplace and maybe a closet or something. So yeah, it's not... You can't get a super clear sense of what the real thing would have looked like, but I think it's very cool. Yeah, I think we've seen just about everything there is to see in it. But yeah, and that's from August of 1994. So when Doom was less than a year old, people were doing like essentially architectural visualizations using Doom. That's really interesting to me, you know, because they were taking something from the real world and using Doom essentially just as like a real-time 3D presentation engine, you know. So I think that's super cool, you know, and I think a lot of people gravitated to that. A lot of people who were just using computers at the time were like, wow, I can build 3D spaces. That's just sort of inherently interesting to me. That's sort of my whole counter history of Doom, is that it wasn't just about the blood and guts. You know, the blood and guts were significant, but, you know, I think also just a lot of computer users at the time just wanted to make something like this or make their house, you know. That's how a lot of people got into it. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, Shiprock. Yeah, and I'll in the comments for this, in the description for this video, maybe I'll like dig up the Wikipedia page for Shiprock so that you can see the real world equivalent. Rose Pawson Residence, Shiprock by... And yeah, and this was rendered into Doom by Myles Williams. So yeah, cool. All right, that was an interesting little historical piece. Okay, Calgon, Take Me Away by Keith Hickman from 1996. Calgon Corp, the world leader in water treatment, has been taken over by Hellspawn. The plant has been converted to a toxic waste and poison-producing facility to supply demons worldwide. Apparently, employees have been turned into mindless zombie killing machines to help guard the plant. Okay, yeah, no, that's, yeah. Calgon, Take Me Away, I believe, is like the slogan, the real-life advertising slogan for Calgon. Yeah. Mission info. Calgon has been heavily fortified. You will be going in alone at night. Skies will be clear and plant well lit. Insertion point, front office. Time, midnight. Objective, kill everyone. Shut down production. Work your way through plant. Kill everything. Get out alive. Prepare for close quarter and open area combat. Okay. Alright, well. Yeah, this is for Ultimate Doom 1.9. I don't know why it would require that necessarily if it's just E1M1, but yeah. Cool. Build time 100 plus hours. Lots of trial and error. Okay. Well, let's try out Calgon, Take Me Away by Keith Hickman from 1996. Yeah, I think I'm primarily familiar with the advertising tagline "Calgon, Take Me Away" from MSC3K referencing it. Okay, here we are in Calgon. Calgon also ends up, yeah, right. Okay, yeah, that's right. In Space, yeah, it was a bad guy. Yeah, that's right. Space Mutiny, which I believe was the one that had like it had that very classic like square-jawed protagonist guy that they kept riffing on different names for, like Bulk Hardchunk and Smash Lampjaw and stuff like that. Anyway, Calgon Corp. ISO 9002 certified. Somebody in the chat should look up what ISO 9002 is. I'm very curious about it. International Standards Organization. Standards on everything under the sun. Fridge, large meat. Slab, bulkhead. Yeah, no, it's in deep. That is in my brain from leftover from the 90s. ISO 9002 is an industry standard created by the ISO. Its long title is Model for Quality Assurance in Production, Installation, and Servicing. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this does actually, despite the sort of, you know, self-consciously absurd premise, this does actually feel kind of similar to the last map in terms of being very, like, cramped and sort of real-worldy in terms of layout, you know? We've got, like, these little, like, office-type rooms and, like, pretty cramped corridors and stuff. This could be, like, a supply closet or something. Yeah, and like these are maybe cubicles or something. So yeah, this is definitely an office map. office maps, I tend to find, you know, as a general class, there are always exceptions, but as a general class, I find office maps just less fun than house or school maps. Just because offices are like so repetitive, you know, like they end up having these like banks of things, and if they were made in the 90s, back before the open plan office design plague came into full effect, you know, they tended to be like these small 1 or 2 person offices, you know, and those were actually pretty great for like having some privacy when you worked in an office, but also they had they're pretty small, you know, and so if you just very straightforwardly translate that into Doom architecture, you have a tiny room where nothing much interesting can happen. I am happy to see here the author creating an outdoor area here. This also feels like it could be like just in the middle of a real-life corporate office complex, but this is maybe like a temporary building or something. But it does nevertheless like kind of open up the pacing a little bit more, you know, so that you have a break from a respite from being in those cramped corridors. And then what is this? It's like a little labyrinth over slime here. This definitely doesn't feel like a normal office feature, but I don't know. I could imagine like a corporate campus in the 90s having like a hell slime maze. You know. Oh yeah, that is a nice skybox. Yeah, that's right, because the README mentioned that you were going in at night. And so yeah, we've got like... Apparently, yeah, Calgon Corporation is also like in these very craggy, sharp, foreboding mountains here. But, you know, if they're doing evil and spreading poison in the world, then, you know, it works, you know. Alright, so, yeah, this actually feels really open. We've got a lot of options as to where we could go. These kind of freestanding buildings that we can walk all the way around. I don't know if I am killing the janitorial staff. I mean, they're attacking, but yeah, they could just be like remnants of the human workers of this place. It's a bummer, but the video game Doom does not give us a lot of options. Okay, alright, so yellow key. Alright, this is actually a little more interesting. This actually feels much more natively Doomy, architecturally. Yeah, this just feels like Doom, you know? I mean, we've got, like, slime pits and, like, computer walls and stuff. And yeah, this is actually kind of a nice little, like, this is way too cramped, so you kind of have to, like, I mean, this is tight, so, you know, you kind of have to carefully, like, pick your way along it, but, oh, and then we come out here, okay. Nice. But yeah, like, this is also so much the kind of thing that you would make in a 1994 era editor. Because, you know, it takes some effort to set up, but, you know, and yeah, the textures are all kind of done in a particular way. Yeah, they're not, like, perfectly aligned or anything. So, yeah, if you wanted to make a fancy terrain, like, level feature, that is totally the kind of thing you would make. Okay, so now I can get into this blue key area. Yeah, so maybe, like, in the fiction for this map, this is like the, yeah, once again, we've got, like, just tons of barrels just sort of piled up together. Yeah, maybe this is like the converted slime plant. It's becoming more Doom-like as the mission of the deeper reaches of Calgon Corporation become more nefarious. Alright, I just had to punch those guys, I guess. Okay, and there's the red key. Alright, we're doing pretty well for ammo right now. I still don't feel any compelling reason to take on those baddies. Alright, here's just yet another building with baddies in it. Ooh, Kako hit me in the back of the head. And I don't have a chain gun, so... Woo! Hop out the window. Okay, alright. I feel like I've explored that pretty thoroughly. What is down this way? Oh. Alright, so there's like this little outside area here. I don't know what that's all about. Okay, so let's go back into the building here, because I feel like there's some important stuff still in here. There's that hellbear in there. Alright, just a little... This is clearly a supply closet. Oh, and it opens up out into this. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm appreciating some of the connectivity here, but it is very cramped. Alright, what are we missing here? Oh, okay, I guess we can open up all of these doors here? No? No. Oh, that opens. Okay, so it's just kind of mystery meat as far as what doors do here. Backpack, definitely take that. This might have been like just a like corporate hell ritual room, you know? Just deck it out in nice green marble. This kind of green marble is absolutely the kind of thing that like an executive would get super psyched about. Like, oh yeah, you gotta see the executive lounge. We've got this nice green marble here. It's only like, you know, a couple of torches away from being a great hell ritual area, you know. Yeah, green marble desk. It's totally swank. Whatever Doom's equivalent of William Diego, or what was his name? System Shock 1's, you know, human antagonist. Anyway, that Diego, yeah, he would totally have a green marble situation. He would definitely grovel before the demon lords. Okay, so, alright, so there's some storage-y type rooms. Yeah, offices also, like, really constrain the purpose of, the purposes of rooms. You know, it's like, okay, in an office, there's either going to be meeting rooms, corridors, offices, or supply rooms. And that's just... That has kind of an inherently limited architectural vocabulary, unless it's like a super modern, like, swanky office. So that's another thing that kind of bums me out about office maps. But yeah, William Bedford Diego is his, you know, grandson or whatever that's in System Shock 2. Whereas yeah, Edward Diego is the trioptimum, the slick trioptimum exec. Okay, I hit a switch. What does this do? Yeah, we're definitely in kind of a behind-the-scenes type area here. Alright, and okay, I still can't get into that yellow key area, but what else? Yeah, okay, we've got the red keys. So whoa, whoa, oh my goodness, okay. Alright, we just got serious here. There is a spider mastermind here. Yeah, William Bedford Diego might have been his son, not his grandson. Shock 2 does take place like a good 50 years or something, like after System Shock 1. Shock 1 takes place in 2072, November of 2072, November 6th and 7th maybe, because yeah, I was replaying that recently. All right. Gosh, this is just so... This is kind of labyrinthine in the less fun way. Spider Mastermind from HR has received a lot of complaints regarding your behavior around the office. Yeah, no, that's Totally, yeah. Okay, and there's still this Baron. Oh, the Baron is guarding the yellow key. Okay. Alright, so how do I get... Yeah, I can't go out here. I want to just get into that little protected space. Yeah, I think we're seeing like most of the map's layout. And it's interesting, it has that mid-90s Doom map aspect of like conforming to a roughly rectangular footprint that some of the id maps really did. I always find that interesting. This looks like a secret. Cool. Chainsaw is fine. Okay, I'm like... Oh, okay, alright, this is yet another little closet. I mean, at this point, this is just kind of popping bubble wrap here. I'm just finding all the junk. Finding all the... Can't open that. How do I... Oh, okay, alright, so this is... Yeah, now we've got the yellow... Now we've got the red key, rather. This is clearly like an executive office or something. Got some dead bodies hanging up, possibly as part of some disciplinary measures. Whoa! We just lowered the floor here. That is interesting. And that opens up a sunken... Yeah, like a little sort of dungeon, perhaps? I don't know. A whole bunch of little armors. Oh, going further down. Oh, we get the BFG. And here, a hell teleporter. Or heliporter. Okay, and so now we can really... We're definitely feeling a little more powerful here, and we can probably take on... Oh, but look, it's opened up a whole bunch of... Oh my goodness. It has opened up a whole bunch more monsters. That's what those doors that we couldn't open were. Aw, man. How long ago did I save? Okay. That's not too far. That's not too far back. Ow. Really use some more armor, but whatever. Teleport back here. Alright, and this Baron is going to be hassling us, but just need to make sure I don't take... Just take out these hit scanners. Ow. I'm bad at dodging today. Oh yeah, Shocklet. Yeah, Shocklet is pretty playable now. If you want to just like have a completely authentic System Shock 1 experience, I would hold off for a little bit. Audio logs are playing in the current version. The only features that Shocklet is missing currently are the video cutscenes, which... So I would wait if only for that reason, and the interactive music specifically. Like, it will play like MIDIs that aren't dynamic and like respond to like the action, which is definitely good enough for, you know, but if you want... Shocklet is a System Shock 1 source port. So back in April, Night Dive released the original source code for System Shock 1. And then Night Dive is working on their own source port for it that actually is kind of souped up from the sound of it and will support mods and whatever and have some advanced rendering features. Whereas, yeah, Chad Cuddigan started taking the code and on his own just doing, like put it on, you know, forked it on GitHub and has been working on making a cross-platform version of it. He got it working on Mac first and then, you know, got it working on Linux and Windows pretty shortly after. So yeah, it is a cross-platform Shock 1 port that already works pretty well. It's only missing like a couple of features, and you can play all the way through the game. I played all the way through the game with Combat 0 difficulty, which was cool. So I basically did a tourism playthrough, and that's what I'm going to... once Shocklet is fully, like, has those two missing features, and it's essentially 100% playable, I was going to do a special stream, possibly Shocklet Sundays. I don't know, like just do a limited run, because the game is finite. A limited run stream in addition to WAD Wednesdays, where I play through it and talk about it. I did a whole bunch of research and have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about for System Shock 1 because, you know, like, there's a whole bunch of, like, history, game history, and design stuff and creative stuff to talk about with System Shock 1 because it was sort of the genesis of, like, even stuff that I ended up working on, like Bioshock. So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about there. I'm very excited to do that stream. I think it'll be fun. I think it might have interest beyond the Doom stuff that I'm doing here. But yeah, it should be cool, and I will definitely let y'all know when I start doing that. Okay, so at this point, I've just been like wandering, like, I don't know. I've been gabbing about System Shock 1, but yeah, I think we've mostly cleaned out this base. Now that I've got the BFG, though, I definitely want to try and fight this Spider Mastermind. And yeah, Spider Mastermind goes down pretty easy when you have a BFG. That's definitely a 90s map, a mid-90s map kind of thing. Like, they would tend to use the BFG as sort of like an almost lock and key like thing for a Cyber Demon or a Spider Mastermind because you were fairly guaranteed to win. It was only like, you know, and that's kind of a limited use, you know, as far as design goes, because it just means that, like, oh, there's the big monster that would have been a big pain to take down, especially if you were playing on Nunpad. Whereas, you know, later or more sophisticated maps give you the BFG, but are like, look, there's actually a bunch of different ways in which this weapon is useful, so we're going to give it to you in the context more of like a combat problem rather than just like a specific problem with a specific bespoke solution. I don't know, that's just an observation about BFG use in early Doom 1 maps. Alright, so now we're in a big warehouse. We might be getting... this is the most protected key door type area, so we might be getting close to the heart of the evil of Calgon Corporation here. And yeah, I sure have been listening to the E1M1 music this whole time. It's fave, you know, it's definitely the most recognizable to the general populace piece of Doom music. Okay. Cool. More baddies. It's definitely feeling more like a conventional Doom level kind of thing. You know, we've got like... we've been into and out of a bunch of different structures here. I would love it if this map were kind of building up to something, you know. But this has ended up being somewhat epic in scope. Certainly epic for 90s. For 90, I forget when this came out. 96, either 94 or 96. But yeah. Okay, yeah, we're, ooh, what's going on in here? Spooky. Definitely spooky, I like this. This is a change of pace. I mean, that's what you want, you know, anytime you're making a real-world kind of location. It's just like, give me something unexpected. Mix up the lighting. A bunch of stuff opened up. Cool, alright. I like where this is going. Alright, so we could go down there, we could go through here. Oh gosh! Alright, those squashers sure got us. They took a chunk out of us. That's a relatively fair use of squashing ceilings, though, I would say. Ooh, it's a deadfall. I can't get back up. Where will this take us? Going through an overgrown water tunnel section. Something opened up. Now we're back out here. Oh. Is this connected to the outdoor sort of complex? Yeah, I think it is. these down. Alright, I wanted all those goodies. I was willing to eat the damage. Oh, crap, I could have just grabbed one of those suits. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, I like these little chambers for the suits. Cool. Okay, so are we back outside now? Let's go back into the yellow key building, because it seemed like that's mainly where the critical path was. Oh, missed this berserk power up. Alright. I guess there were little lockers in here? No. Little lockers in here. Oh, maybe those are gonna pop open. Maybe they open when I do this? Yes. That is exactly what they do. Alright, this is pretty much the textbook monster garage. Bigger than a closet, multiple monsters, has some useful stuff in it. And yeah, this is like our monster storage unit, perhaps. We're just sitting around there. What was the state of the art in terms of Doom level editors back when this was made? This would have been the heyday of DEU, Doom Editing Utility, which was it was a DOS-based thing. You had a top-down view. Didn't have a 3D preview, I believe. Did have like a texture picker that would actually show you textures. So it was pretty rudimentary. Like the first couple of Doom maps that I made back around this time in 94, 95, I guess. Definitely we're using DEU 5.21 or whatever. And yeah, it was tough, you know, like you had to think a lot more about how you wanted your geo to look, and then like quit out of the editor, or like just, you know, DOS obviously not a multitasking OS. Oh man, did I accidentally... Alright, let's just take this other teleporter here. But yeah, but nevertheless, it was what a ton of really significant early Doom levels were made with, so people definitely made it work. And yeah, it's definitely not... It's not something you would want to use to make a level nowadays, but... You know, it got the job done way back in the day, so... Alright, looks like this is the exit. Okay, yeah, Deep was starting to become popular, and yeah, that was a Windows-based editor, I believe. I used that very briefly, like, I don't know, when I started to dink around with source ports in, like, the late 90s or something. Okay, so there are these barrens here, and I can really just run past them. But I don't really have any incentive not to do that, I guess. Oh yeah, and we got the computer map here, so we can go explore some goodies and stuff. Yeah, that's a bummer. This falls a bit flat because, like, we've got some very powerful, for Doom 1 scale, enemies here in these barrens, like 4 barrens, and you have kind of a crossfire between them. That's bad times. But you can just run, I guess. So the climax of this level is you run through there and you just get into the exit. But I guess that's it. So yeah, this was Calgon. Yeah, I was really hoping there would be like more of a knockdown drag-out fight, or just something that was like kind of overwhelming. But I don't know. You know, I mean, yeah. So most of this level was like this there was like this cramped complex, like sitting in the middle of a larger non-linear space, somewhat non-linear, you know. I mean, they used the 3 different keys for different tiers of access to this open space, and then the yellow key gets you into the sort of final run-up where it gets more linear, and then finally, yeah, to the end here. So, yeah, this was cool. Like, this is definitely, like, this is a competently made map. This doesn't feel like a first level in terms of sophistication of the architecture and stuff. I definitely found like so many spaces in this just too cramped, which is a bummer. You know, I think it's a pitfall of 90s maps and of real world office-y type themed places. Yeah. Yeah, she's saying, I feel like most players have been conditioned to feel like killing all enemies is something that's achievable. Yeah, and in this case, it is definitely achievable. Like, I've certainly got all of the damage in my ammo reserves here to take all of them out, but, you know, I don't know. I think that is, like, that's a lot of players are just kind of conditioned, like, either kill all enemies or ignore any enemy that doesn't seem like... Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm a favor of... I enjoy when a Doom level gives you a fight that you can't win, whether that means you can come back later more powerful and beat it, or just no, you're just, you know, there's sort of an extra tier of skill where you actually do take out all the monsters, but most players will just try to, you know, make it through and survive. So yeah, okay, yeah, this was April of '96. I'd forgotten. But yeah, that was Calgon Take Me Away by Keith Hickman. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I do think modern FPSs have branched out as far as, like, you know, you just can't kill all of these monsters. Any game that introduces a horror type element, you know, is like, oh no, you're not killing a majority of these monsters. If you do kill any monsters, you only kill what you need to just, like, squeak through, because they're totally about disempowering the player and limiting their options and making choices feel really pressured and difficult. So yeah, you know, and Doom, that is within Doom's design reach, I would say. You can definitely accomplish that with conventional Doom level design. It just feels a little different because the rest of the game is so twitchy. But yeah. Cool. All right. Well, it is exactly 8. And I think I'm a little tuckered out, so I don't think I want to do another. That was a relatively substantial map. So yeah, I think that might be it for me today. But, and I realized we got started a couple of minutes late, but I don't want to hit random and then get roped into like another half hour or something. If there was something that I knew was going to be as short as that cool little Frank Lloyd Wright thing, I would do that, but random is as random is. Cool. Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, it's been fun. This was an interesting mix of things. Like, yeah, I love that that non-combat, yeah, just that Frank Lloyd Wright adaptation. That's a heck of a thing for 1994. A lot of stuff from 94 here. And yeah, we bailed on that XXX thing, but you can kind of see the URL here. So if you want to check it out, you know, yourself, you know, don't send me screenshots or anything, because that would be weird. But, you know, that's one of those many things that's an exercise, left as an exercise to the viewer. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, folks. And I will see you again next Wednesday. We'll play more Doom levels. Until then, have a great week. And yeah, if you're playing No Man's Sky, then enjoy the next update. And I might see you around in multiplayer. I might stream some of that this weekend or something. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye.